this done. We'll get your two businesses out of the way first so y'all can go on. You ready? All right, it is 6 o'clock. We'll call the planning board meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. All right. First off bat, we're gonna do IC Construction, or IQ Construction. And with their request to change, a lot up the street from R20 to R15. Are you gonna do representative for both?
I am going to do an introduction, and then Mr. Slagle will present the petition for 208, and then I'm going to do the petition for
Okay.
101.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Well, good evening. My name's Tony Lee. I've lived in Cleveland for 5+ years, and I lived in the house right up the street here, about a block, and I've learned that it's most famous as the Shoemaker House. Although I try to change that every time I speak to someone new to tell them that it's the Lee House. So I may be famous after we finish the night. I'm honored that I'm the very first person to stand in front of the camera. So I do want to introduce my close friend, and I like to call him a hero, Jason Slagle, because he's a very accomplished custom home builder. He's not a track builder. He doesn't do it for fun. He's very seriously good custom home builder, and he has his oldest son, Tate Slagle, with him here tonight. My hero, because I delved in custom home building about 40 years ago, and I found it to be very difficult, but Jason and his son are doing an excellent job, and they've been doing it for years, and they're very good at it. Thanks to Kelly for helping us get to this point in the permitting or petitioning process, and also for providing pertinent zoning information and also the future land use plan. Thank you, Mr. Little, for also just a 2-minute meeting that we had a week or so ago. And to your planning board members, I don't know you all, but glad to stand here and glad to be before you, and thank you for taking time to hear our petition. We'd like to refer you to the town's land use plan, which includes a vision for the future, as well as a set of goals and strategies which help achieve that vision. This vision, as well as the goals and strategies which are included in the plan for the future section near the end of it, should be considered during all major decision-making processes in Cleveland. The plan for the future section also includes a future land use map, which helps direct the future development of land throughout the town. Whenever the town's elected and appointed officials receive a request for rezoning or a development application, they should consider the future land use map to determine whether the proposed request is consistent with the land use plan. These thoughts are taken directly from your land use plan. They're not mine. I just reproduced it. And we would like to also refer you to page 43 of this land use plan, where we do find this future land use map. You'll note in studying that the two properties we will be discussing this evening are both included in the town center district, which describes the central heart of this community, where a range of commercial, civic, recreational, and higher density residential uses are concentrated. This area is anticipated to grow in the future following the strategy of your land use plan, which was adopted by the town on June 12, 2023. Quoting from page 42, near the end of that section, I read, "It's inferred that rezonings or major developments which are approved be consistent with the future land use map." We're not petitioning for an extreme zoning change. We're not reaching for something way over the top. But rather we're asking for a zoning change on 2 properties to the R15 zoning classification that are already designated as R15 on the town's future land use plan. If there's no comments or questions at this point, then I will have Mr. Slagle come and present 208 East Main Street petition.
Like Tony said, you guys, thanks for hearing us out, and I wanted to just take a minute to tell you a little bit about who we are, because I think what we're asking for is what you guys ultimately want in the town center, I think. But I live in Woodleaf on a farm. My 3 sons all live on the farm or around it, and we've had a family business since 2008, and we kind of hide. We're not a mainstream builder or developer. Our website is probably out of date and old, and we basically build for people who we know and referrals. So we're just kind of a small family-owned business, and we work every day together. We fight, we wrestle, but we love each other, and we love to build houses for people. And we build everything from these duplexes all the way up to $2 or $3 million houses, depending on what customers want. So that's a little bit about us, and we're local. I grew up in Mooresville. Didn't like it there anymore. Got too many people, so we moved out into the country, which we love. But so we are asking for 208 East Main Street to be rezoned from R20 to R15. Which in the land use plan that you guys have, I think that's a plan for the future already. And some of the minimums that are out there for that, we meet all those. As we cut that piece into 6 lots and then once again cut it in once the duplexes get built, the average lot size for the 6 is over 19,000. And then when we cut it into on the firewall, which we can't do till after we build it because we resurvey those duplexes to make sure we're dead on, they all get cut into 96 to 9,800 square feet lots. And I think the minimum that you guys require in that R15 zoning for multifamily dwelling is 4,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm just double checking.
Okay.
I'm not speaking, I'm not
Okay.
gonna speak out loud with that
And
double checking.
so likewise, we kind of meet all the requirements of that future zoning. You guys aren't there yet, you haven't changed it yet, but that's the way it looks like it's going, so that's what we're asking for. And I'm gonna keep it, it's really that simple. And I'd love to field any questions. I could keep going on with numbers and stuff, but it kind of is self-explanatory and kind of fits in your all's future goals.
Okay. All right. Kelly's done the research on it. According to her research, everything that has been said said already, it is in the town center area of the future use program, future land use on the land use plan. It does meet the requirements. There's no parking issues. There appears to be nothing technically from the town side as far as the rules and everything that there's an issue. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, the only question I have is when you go from R20 to R15, 6 months from now, you may decide that that's not what you want to do. And when it's too late, it's already over 15.
So
Based on
I do
what?
some smaller neighborhoods, and I do CCRs for them, which is basically you can't have any large farm animals, you can't, it's very basic stuff, but it says you can't do a mobile home. You have to have a minimum square footage of stick-built framing. And I think we have some pictures of what we're planning on building, and we could even restrict it to that, because I don't have any, that's what I'm gonna build. Can you show them, or do they, is that?
That's not on the
That's
slideshow,
not-
but
okay.
they got it in their packet.
Okay, in your all's pack?
Require you tearing the house down.
Yes, sir. So we'll tear that house down and that detached garage that's beside it. And at first we thought we would maybe redo that house, but it's pretty rough.
Anything else? All right. Need a motion to accept or decline? Technically, everything's there. They're within the rules.
I would like to see, and I don't know how you go about doing this. Maybe Kelly and Rebecca can do it. But I'd like to see the restrictions put on it so that it would not allow mobile homes on this property if we recommend rezoning it.
If I'm not,
Now legally, can we do that?
You are looking for more of a conditional zoning change.
Can we do a deed restriction? No? Okay.
I would think if he's gone through this much time and effort and stamp drawings, I don't see a single wide getting brought in.
It also doesn't work financially.
Yeah.
I can't sell a single wide for what I need to sell the houses for what I'm paying for the land
Yeah.
and all that. It doesn't feasibly work to do that either.
Maybe we can work on that in the future for a switch like
There
that.
again, without any guarantees. Something could happen to their company and it will be gone. I wanna see some guarantees. That it would follow what's on here, not just recommend rezoning $15.
I'm thinking of the neighbors
Well,
that are,
well, let's back up just a second. They've met all of the requirements that are in place. So it's still gotta go to town council. So those concerns may need to be addressed at town council level. At our level, we need to address what these questions are and do they meet or not meet? They meet everything there. So that's what the decision needs to be based on. From a guarantee standpoint, I think we're gonna have to look at that through another method to see if that can even be brought forth legally. I don't know. And Kelly's signifying she doesn't know right off the top of her head. It is something that we definitely need to look into to see if we can require it. But in this case, I don't see, well, I'm not sure if we can require it or if it can even be required, as everything stands right now. It's gonna, and we're gonna have to address that issue later to do that for sure. But we'll have to address that through another area. But what we've got before us is the motion or the paperwork for us doesn't meet the requirements that we put in place, and by all appearances, it does. So that's how we need to address it at this point in time. Any other comments, concerns? And I share some of the concerns. But looking at the documentation, this is what it requires. I need a motion to either accept or decline.
Well, I'll go back to one thing that we
Okay.
talked about during all of this a couple of years ago, and that was not having R-15 on Main Street. Anybody else remember that?
I agree with you.
So based on that, I mean, I couldn't be in favor of it.
Well, I understand your concern on that. But the question is, does he meet the requirements as they are standing? And he does.
I do not see how we could serve the citizens of Cleveland well by moving 12 families onto 2 acres plus.
That comes down to town council decision. What we're looking at is, does this meet the requirements that we have in place right now? And according to the research, it does. That's the question we have right now. I understand the concerns, and I have some of those concerns. But in looking at what's in place, that's what we have to decide on. You know, those are the rules that are in place. So. Any other comments, concerns that I agree with? All right, I need a motion for acceptance or not?
A motion to accept.
All right. All those in favor? Or I need a second, I'm sorry. All right. Don't have a second. How do we want to address it?
You don't have a second, motion dies.
Motion dies. All right, what's the procedure from here on out?
Do you have a motion to deny?
All right, good point. Do we have a motion to deny it?
So moved.
I so
All
move.
right, first and a second. All those in favor of denial? Three to two. Or those against? 3 to 2. All right. What's the next steps for this gentleman?
It'll be presented to the town board, and they will hold a public hearing, not at the next meeting, but, the September meeting.
Okay. Is that necessary with this denial?
Yeah, well, it's,
That's, they give their opinion to the town
Okay.
board.
yeah, we're not the final say.
Right. The
We're-
reason I'm asking is because I have a family that really needs the money
Yeah,
for the sale of this house
I understand.
and stuff, and I don't wanna lead them on and go down a road.
Regardless of what this board does, it still has to go to town.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gotta go to town board,
Okay.
so,
How long, and you said September?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. So-
okay. All righty.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Lee, you're up next.
The second rezoning petition tonight is for 101 Academy Street, which is, most of you know what that little house looks like on that lot. Yes? Can I get a yes on that? Pretty much. I think
Sure would be
everyone in
better.
town is familiar with it. It's a house that needs to be removed. With this approval, the house will be demolished. We're using the same two-family product from IQ Construction because IQ also, Jason wanted also to buy this lot and build a duplex on it. Not a duplex. The new term is two-family dwelling. And so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I will just point out that it's currently zoned R20, and R20 requires a minimum 20,000 square foot lot. This this lot is 13,212 square feet. And we drew in the setback lines with a dashed line so you see. R15 front yard setback 30 feet. It's drawn at 35 feet off the road right of way. And then the side yard's of 10 feet, and then the rear yard is drawn in at 25 feet. So this lot is well large enough to accommodate this product. In fact, we can slide the house back a little bit more. We can pivot for better orientation and parallel either to the left side property line or the right side. So lot width, it's about 100 feet wide at the right-of-way line. It's 102 feet wide at the center line of the road. So that's kind of in the nutshell. I've got a lot of other percentages and so forth, but I'm interested in knowing how the town sees the rezoning of this lot.
All right. According to the research by Ms. Kelly, it's the same as the other lot. It meets all the requirements. It's in the future land use plan. Falls within the town center.
Is it in
Lines.
the town center?
Yeah, it does, just barely,
Okay,
but it does fall into that, correct, Kelly?
okay.
Yeah. So, comments, concerns, questions? All right. Need a motion to either accept or deny?
I motion to accept if it's
All right.
within our
That's-
guidelines.
Second? Okay. Motion to deny the request? Got
I so move.
a second? Mr. Brown seconds. All those in favor of denial, raise your right hand. All those against? 3-2. So you'll be going to town council too for that meeting.
Is the advertisement period between now and the town board meeting or after the town board meeting?
It'll be after the August meeting.
Okay. So, thank you
Yep.
very much.
Thank you, folks. We appreciate it. All right. Last thing we need to do is junk court ordinance. Does anybody else have any issues with that? Is that correct?
Right, y'all are
Yeah.
just supposed to kind of
Yeah, we just need to send it
go
on.
through it to be
Yeah,
sent up to
we've gone through it. I think everybody was in agreement with it. You and I have some procedural things to go through. And I think we can get town council's approval on that. If that's acceptable to you. Okay. Anybody have any other issues with the car ordinance? Add, subtract, see if we can get things going. I think a good game plan would be get it before town council. They do a review of it. We address any concerns, if any. They'll put it to a public hearing. We'll address those issues there. November-ish, December-ish, after putting it in the town letter every month sent to, between now and January, letting everybody know, we'll get the word out. We will come up with a procedure of notifications and removal, get that going, and then hopefully by January, I'd like to November, December-ish, get some letters of warning out to the folks that the issue needs to be addressed with, and then January start possibly taking further actions from there. So if that works for y'all. Kelly sent out the subdivision ordinance. that'll be our next big project we'll probably start working on. Kelly and I have both spoken with several developers, since our junk car ordinance meeting, as a matter of fact. They are looking at this area, and if they can find a decent set of tract of land, somebody's gonna buy it up and want to develop it. So we just need to make sure if what we've got in place is currently correct, or do we wanna add some other stuff? It's not a bad ordinance, so please be looking at that. Anything else? All right, we'll call the meeting adjourned. And everybody turn off your mics.